After a 17-day ordeal, trapped rescue workers are finally out. Just shortly after 7:30 p.m. this evening, the workers were, in fact, the pulling out of the workers actually began. The workers were brought out one by one individually from the tunnel. Within 1 hour, all 41 trapped workers were brought out. Chief Minister Dhami and Union Minister Singh were at the tunnel to welcome the rescued workers. Remember, a portion of the tunnel, which is part of the Char Dham project, had collapsed, trapping all 41 labourers inside. There were multiple methods used by the government over these 2 weeks to retrieve the workers. From using big drilling machines to vertical drilling, all avenues were explored. The last stretch of the rescue, however, was done via manual digging, where workers went in and managed to bring out the 41 men safely. For more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Nukul, who's in Uttarkashi. Nukul, we do believe that the men who have been rescued, they are being kept under medical observation for some time. If you can take our viewers through what's the protocol that's going to be followed now?
Well, Tanima, absolutely. After the major rescue operation which was carried out from past 17 days, now all the rescued workers, they are now shifted to this particular hospital. I come to you from this Chiliani Sword hospital. Behind me, you can see this is the particular hospital. This was a community center indeed, which was during the time of COVID made the medical facility here, and now these rescued workers, they are shifted here in this particular facility. At the same time, what we have been reporting from the Green Corridor is that in the batches of 3 ambulances, all those rescued workers, they were carried in these ambulances and they were brought to these particular hospitals after a multi-pronged operation which was carried out in the last stage by the rat hole miners, which was accompanied by the army technicians and also the army engineer and technicians who were also cutting the metal and all the hurdles through the gas cutters. At the same time, what we are also given to understand, the NDRF also carried out this last bit of operation and brought out all the rescuers.
Right. Nukul, we were, of course, talking about the fact that now, the tough job is done. The men have, in fact, been brought out. But this also raises a lot of questions, which the Chief Minister himself was also saying that, there's going to be a review of all the under construction tunnels there in Uttarakhand, and the way, this entire situation panned out, of course, has put out a lot of questions which are now going to be asked now that the rescue operation is over successfully. So a lot of questions now that the government will also have to answer in terms of, whether all sorts of safety measures were being followed in terms of construction of this particular tunnel, which is part of this high-profile Char Dham project.
Absolutely, Tanima, you have rightly mentioned that how this is in the name of infrastructure projects that these were carried out. Although it is, as you were mentioning, that to boost the Char Dham Yatra, this entire project was going on. But at the same time, if you remember that NHAI, the National Highway Authority of India, they during this particular operation which was carried out in between some days, they had ordered that 29 tunnels, all the under construction tunnels, there will be a safety audit that is going to be conducted. But at the same time, it poses serious questions as to the lack of why there was no evacuation process which was carried out earlier when the tunnel was being under construction. And we also were given to understand that there are hume pipes which are also needed to be installed when the tunnel construction was going on, but it was thrown out. So these are the particular questions which are very serious in nature, and you were rightly mentioned that Chief Minister also had ordered the inquiry, but after a point of time it will pan out as to how and what lagged in this particular matter.
Nukul will, of course, be following all the updates with you on ground. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, earlier I spoke to my colleague Kishore, who has, in fact, been tracking the rescue operations for the past 2 weeks and more. And he spoke to us about what went on for the past 24 hours, the final burst of effort that was put in place in order to bring those men out.
बिल्कुल जिस तरीके से शनिवार और रविवार को यानी सैटरडे और संडे को जो लगातार पीसी हुई थी उसमें उन्होंने ऑपरेशन के बारे में बताया कि जिस तरीके से ऑपरेशन चल रहा है उसमें बहुत सारी दिक्कतें आ रही है। जो वर्टिकल ऑपरेशन है उसमें 5 दिन लग सकते हैं। इसके अलावा जो हॉरिजॉन्टल ऑपरेशन जो साइड से टनल से किया जा रहा था उसमें 15 दिन लग सकते हैं। सभी को लग रहा था कि ऑपरेशन लंबल जाएगा, लेकिन जो पिछले 24 घंटों में गुजरा उसने इस पूरे रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन की तस्वीरें बदल दी। और जो लोग आए थे रेड माइनर्स, उन्होंने एक उम्मीद जगाई कि हम जो आखिरी 20% रह गया है उसमें हम तेजी से काम करेंगे, और उन्होंने बहुत तेजी से काम किया। लगातार इस ऑपरेशन में उतार चढ़ाव देखे गए, लगातार इस ऑपरेशन में उम्मीदें भी जगी और उम्मीदें भी टूटी। 9वें दिन में इस ऑपरेशन में सबसे बड़ा ब्रेक थ्रू हासिल किया और उसके बाद लगातार इस ऑपरेशन में सफलता हासिल करी। लेकिन इस बीच में जैसे ही कई चीजें परेशानी का सबब बनी और लोगों की उम्मीद चले, 36 घंटे तक काम नहीं हो पाया। ऐसे में जो परिजन है और रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन वाला, उनकी हिम्मत जरूर जवाब दे रही थी, लेकिन उम्मीद उन्होंने नहीं छोड़ी थी। उम्मीद इस बात की थी कि इनको हम जल्द बाहर निकाल लेंगे।
And a billion prayers had, of course, gone out for the safe retrieval of those men. But it's the families of those 41 laborers who had, in fact, been praying for days, some of them camping on site over there, waiting for the return of their loved ones. Take a look at some of the reactions from them which had come in.
At Shobik Pakira's village, who's been rescued from that tunnel in Uttarkashi, there are prayers being offered at the local temple. Now this of course is where Shobik Pakira's mother has also come to offer prayers after a rescue after 17 days. And for everyone who's involved in this rescue operation, it's also been a challenge, but for these families it's been a moment of trepidation and fear. And of course here right now Shobik Pakira's mother has offered prayers in a sort of thanksgiving after this rescue at the Uttarkashi tunnel. Now this of course taking place in this village in Hooghly district of West Bengal. Thankfully for these families, they didn't have to spend another night in uncertainty, and the parents of Shobik Pakira smiling for the first time. They're offering prayers here. This is of course Shobik Pakira's mother, who's just offered prayers at the temple, and of course taking solace in the fact that her son of course has finally been rescued from that temple. একটা জিনিস জাস্ট আপনার কাছে জানতে চাইবো, এতদিন পরে আপনার মুখে একটা হাসি দেখলাম, আপনি বলছিলেন সবাইকে বার করে রাখা উচিত, খুব এখন নিশ্চয়ই শান্তি হয়েছে?
শান্তি হয়েছে, এখন ভালোই লাগছে যে আমার ছেলে ফোন করে বলছে আমরা 41 জনই ভালো আছি। আমরা যে 17 দিন ভেতরে ছিলাম আমাদেরকে দেখলে বোঝা যাবে না, আমরা খুব ভালোই আছি, শরীর মন সব ভালোই আছে। আর
আজকে আপনি পুজো দিলেন, আপনি বলছিলেন সবাইকে বার করে, আপনি আগের দিন প্রথম দিন আমায় বলছেন
প্রথম থেকেই আমি 41 জনের জন্যই ঠাকুরের কাছে দেখেছি, শুধু আমার ছেলের জন্য নয়। আমি সব সময় জানতেন যে 41 জনই আমার সুরক্ষিত থাকে। এখনো আমি ঠাকুরের কাছে রাখছি আমার গ্রামবাসীগণ সকলেই যেন ভোলে বাবার যায়, সব কিছু যেন তার নামে নামদাম করতে পারি। এখানে ঠাকুরই আছে, আমার ভোলে বাবার যায়, ওই আমার পথ দেখিয়েছে।
That's of course an elated family smiling after months or actually days, given that they have finally been able to speak to Shobik, and of course offering prayers at the local temple here after Shobik Pakira's rescue in Uttarkashi from that tunnel after spending 17 days inside that tunnel. For the villagers too, it's a moment of joy as they finally get the good news and they don't have to spend another night in uncertainty. With camera person Aniruddha Tripathi at the Horinakhali village in Pushkar in Hooghly district of West Bengal, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
हमारे साथ जो है अखिलेश के चाचा जी विजय कुमार जी हैं। हम उनसे पूछते हैं कि क्या है, कैसा रहा आज हमारे 17 दिन बाद अखिलेश वापस आया है।
आज 17 दिन बाद हमारे गांव और हमारे परिवार के लिए बहुत सुखद क्षण है।
हमारे साथ अखिलेश कुमार सिंह के पिताजी रमेश कुमार सिंह भी हैं। बहुत ही हिम्मती हैं, बहुत ही इन्होंने जब भी हमारी इनसे बात हुई, इन्होंने बताया कि मेरा बेटा बहुत दिलेर है, वो बहुत मजबूत इंसान है, और यही मजबूती मुझे इनके में भी दिखी। अब हम इनसे पूछते हैं कि क्या है, कैसे आप अपने बेटे को कैसे विश करेंगे, उसको कैसे शाबाशी देंगे आप?
भगवान से दुआ करूंगा कि वो कायदे से रहे और उसको सम्मान ही दूंगा, और क्या करूंगा मैं,
इतना ही कर सकता हूँ। आओ सर।
आप इनके चेहरे पर जो खुशी है, आप इनके चेहरे पर जो खुशी है उस बात से अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं। ये बोल नहीं पा रहे हैं कि क्या बोलूं। इन्होंने कहा कि मैं क्या बोलूं। हमारे साथ
इनके पास बोलने के लिए
हमारे साथ गांव के भी हैं।
इनके पास इतनी खुशी है, कौतूहल से उमंग में ये हुआ है कि इनके पास बोलने के लिए कोई शब्द नहीं, शब्द ही कम पड़ा। इतनी इनके पास खुशी भरी हुई है। खुशियों का माहौल हमारे घर परिवार में छाया हुआ है।
हमारे साथ इनके बड़े पिताजी भी हैं, वो भी कुछ बोलना चाह रहे हैं। बताएं।
आज ये खबर सुन करके कि आने वाले हैं बाहर, तो बहुत खुशी है, बहुत खुशी। उस खुशी को हम शब्दों में बयान नहीं कर सकते।
And we are being told that the Prime Minister, in fact, just a short while back, spoke to all the rescued workers over the phone. In fact, Prime Minister himself, as well as Chief Minister Dhami, among several others, has lauded the work done by the rescue team, which was involved in the 17-day operation to bring out the the workers who have, in fact, been rescued. Now, let's listen in to some of the reactions coming in.
इतना कठिन चुनौतीपूर्ण काम, जिसमें आपने देखा कि ऑगर मशीन मंगाई गई और पहले इंदौर से मंगाई गई, हैदराबाद से मंगाई गई, और जिस प्रकार से मशीन बार बार अंदर टूट जा रही थी, जिस प्रकार से फंस जा रही थी, वहां पर गडर आ जा रहे थे, तमाम हार्ड रॉक आ जा रही थी, उसके कारण से वो बार बार रुक रही थी। लेकिन जो हमारे दिल्ली जल बोर्ड के और गोरखपुर से जो नीचे जाकर मैनुअल माइनिंग करने वाले थे, उन सभी का भी मैं अपनी ओर से धन्यवाद भी करता हूं, उनका मैं अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूं। मैं सभी से एक से अभी मिला हूं और उन मजदूर भाइयों से भी मिला हूं जो बाहर निकल कर आए हैं। सभी लोगों ने कहा कि हमको हर संभव, कभी भी अंदर किसी प्रकार की परेशानी नहीं हुई। निश्चित रूप से ये हम लोगों के लिए एक बहुत सुकून वाली बात है।
सिल्कियारा टनल के हादसे के कारण जो 41 मजदूर फंसे हुए थे, वो बाहर निकले और उनकी जान बची है। सभी एजेंसियों ने, विशेष रूप से पीएमओ के मार्गदर्शन में, भारत सरकार की सब एजेंसीज, उत्तराखंड सरकार और वहां की स्थानिक जनता और सब लोगों ने रात दिन मेहनत की, परिश्रम किए, अलग अलग पर्यायों पर काम किया और उसके बाद ये सफलता मिली है। ये बहुत गहरा संकट था, पहली बार इस प्रकार का अनुभव आया। इन लोगों की जान बची, उन लोगों को मैं बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, शुभेच्छाएं देता हूं। और इसमें जान बचाने में जिन जिन भारत सरकार की एजेंसियों ने और राज्य सरकार के एजेंसियों ने और सभी हमारे इंजीनियर्स थे, रात दिन अपने जोखिम लेकर जो काम किया है, उन सबको भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं, उनके आभार व्यक्त करता हूं।
Right, we'll slip into a short break at this point. News and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, the Madras High Court has stayed summons to 5 district collectors in Tamil Nadu by the Enforcement Directorate. The summons were in connection to alleged money laundering linked to illegal sand mining in the state. The Tamil Nadu government had challenged the summons. However, the court has not stayed the ED investigations. Sam Daniel reports.
A shot in the arm for Tamil Nadu government as the Madras High Court stayed the Enforcement Directorate summons to 5 district collectors for 3 weeks over alleged money laundering with proceeds from illegal sand mining. The DMK ruled state and the bureaucrats asked to appear by the ED told the court that the central agency has no jurisdiction to investigate this case by itself, let alone summoning collectors, treating them as accused or witnesses. It should have only asked the state to inquire or sought information. The Tamil Nadu government also claimed the ED's estimation of 4,000 crore worth of illegal sand mining is inflated to tarnish the ruling DMK, besides violating federalism.
ED should have, if it comes across some illegalities happening, should have informed the state government under section 66 of the PMLA that please investigate this matter. Rather, ED is investigating the matter by itself, which authority it is not having. They are doing it without any jurisdiction. That action is in fact impinging the federalism.
As this turns into a center-state tussle, whether ED can summon state government officials during investigations without the consent of the state government is the moot point that the court has to decide. The central agency strongly argued it's well within its powers, and the final verdict in this case could well be crucial. The court, however, has not stayed the ED's investigation. Although this is only an interim order, this is being seen as a victory for the opposition that accuses the central government of deploying its central agencies in opposition-ruled states and whitewashing its opponents who join hands, a charge the BJP has denied. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
The Israel-Hamas war entered its fifth day of truce today after a two-day extension. The US has in fact pushed for further extension of ceasefire amid the ongoing war. More hostages are expected to be released from both sides in the interim. In fact, 3 Palestinians will be released in exchange for each Israeli hostage in Gaza.
People casually walking, families relishing food. The temporary Israel-Hamas ceasefire has brought much-awaited normalcy to the life of Gazans, who have faced Israeli bombings wherever they have gone in the wake of the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. With an extension of 2 days to the ceasefire, more hostages are expected to be released by Hamas. According to reports, Israel has identified 50 women who will be released as part of the ceasefire extension. The deal could be delayed if Hamas is unable to locate others who are being held hostage by either militant groups in Gaza, according to reports. Meanwhile, the United Nations has used the ceasefire extension to get desperately needed aid into Gaza. And the US, one of the mediators in the ceasefire deal, is seeking to extend the deal further.
We'd certainly like to see even that extension extended further until all the hostages are released. That's really the goal here, get all the hostages home with their families where they belong. And however long that could take.
Palestinian-American supermodel Gigi Hadid faced backlash after she said in an Instagram post that Israel is the only country that keeps children as prisoners of war. Israel responded to Hadid's post and said that condemning Hamas is not anti-Palestine.
The hostages taken from Israel, the only crime they had, at least the Jewish ones, is that they're Jewish and they live where they live. So they didn't do anything wrong. And this is a very big difference between a terrorist and a child playing at home. That's part of the problem of people of understanding.
With Vishal Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Now, a story of determination and a never-give-up attitude. Rajkaran Barua, a security guard from Jabalpur, has passed his MSc exams after 25 years since his last degree and 23 unsuccessful attempts.
25 years, 23 failures, and finally 56-year-old Rajkaran Barua, a security guard earning 5,000 rupees a month in Madhya Pradesh, Jabalpur, is an MSc in mathematics.
सर किताबें खरीदने के मामले में तो मैं इतना ज़्यादा वो हूँ कि अनकंट्रोल की समझ लीजिए कि 7,000 की किताबें एक दिन में खरीद मारता हूँ, शौकीन हूँ पढ़ने का। मैंने अभी 5-7 सालों में लगाए पैसे और पास होकर दिखाया। फाइनल में मेरे 51% आए।
Rajkaran first appeared in his MSc exam at Jabalpur's Rani Durgavati University in 1997 and failed. The failures then repeated till now.
6वीं क्लास से मेरे पिताजी गुजर गए थे 1980 में। तब से मेरे को माँ ने बंगलों में नौकर के लिए डाल दिया था, वहाँ रहना खाना बस, पैसे नहीं। तो मैं ऐसे करते करते 12th आया, पर जब पैसे की तकल्लुस हुई तो बंगले छोड़ के मैं भागा और फिर 2-4-5 हज़ार की नौकरी कर करके फीस भरता रहा हर साल।
Rajkaran says apart from his obsession about clearing his MSc Maths, he is also passionate about music. In Jabalpur, with Sanjeev Chaudhary and camera person Virendra Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
धरती है लाल लाल फूलों भरी।